Okay, so I had made a personal library the end of last summer. I cleaned off one of our unused bookshelves. Mark helped me haul it into the bedroom, and I started filling it up with books and things with the intent of amassing one art book and one philosophy book every year, at least. And I have since kind of blown past my quota in that time. I think I also stated that I wanted to create a bit of a reading area because I found in life, if I create a space for a specific activity, I am a lot more likely to engage in that activity. I started imagining what my reading space would look like, knowing that if I created one, I would actually sit down and commit time to reading books. There's something about holding an actual tome in my lap and like feeling the book in my hands, and that is what I wanted. I wanted more of that in my life. So I knew that I wanted to get a chair, like a beanbag chair. I know now, having owned multiple throughout my life, that they're kind of terrible for your posture. They melt into the exact position necessary to create back pain. I wanted something like a beanbag chair, and that it was wide and low to the ground, but I also wanted it to have back support and be solid. Wasn't really sure where I was gonna find that. But Mark and I, at some point this spring, I want to say in February, went to IKEA back when we had first remodeled the lab with the hard floor. And I remember we walked into the showroom, and right in the beginning, like right in front, there was this pedestal with like the new furniture for that season, like the upcoming spring. And the front and center object was this yellow chair. Yellow is like one of my favorite colors, particularly that like bright, screaming kind of buttercup yellow that you see in nature in the form of blossoms and flowers. The walls in our living room are this sort of yellow, and I got really excited because it was low to the ground, incredibly wide. It didn't have any arms, which was important because I knew I'd probably want to sit in this reading chair like a I don't know, a foldable floppy human with legs and arms, probably cross-legged. It was like literally the perfect thing. However, it was $270, which I don't know, for me that's like a lot of money for a chair. So I took note of it, and I just kind of sat on the knowledge of its existence, hoping that one day in the near future it would go on sale. Fast forward to the beginning of May. We went back there because I needed to get another like utility cart for the lab to put some of my other stuff in. They're nice. They're like really good tools to have, I think. And on the way out, we checked the clearance area, and sure enough, Mark saw the showroom model of this chair, the yellow chair, on clearance, more than halved the $270 ticket price. The caveat was that some animal children had climbed all over it and left a bunch of shoe prints. Mark, what is this? All over it.
It's a chair, Sarah. You purchased a brand new used chair.
Yes.
From the clearance section at your favorite Swedish furniture outlet.
It's very dirty.
Yeah, it's very dirty because little kids have jumped on it.
Children have abused this showroom item. Is that what you'd call this?
Yes, it is a showroom. Could have priced it better, but still good deal.
I wanted it. I'm going to go baptize it with soap and disinfectant. I'm kind of a compulsively clean person. I'm messy, but I like things to be clean. And there's like a difference between messy and dirty. So I shampooed the crap out of this thing, like over and over and over again, until the shoe prints were mostly gone. I think what was left was just like the fabric being stained. And then I covered it in a blanket, kind of like I guess just a cushiony cover that I could, clean also, but remove if I needed. And I set it in my designated reading space, where I had been envisioning this chair for the past 6 months now. And it fit perfect. Also, on that same trip, we found this tea container. And kind of really important because, I don't know, if you've ever made sun tea or just iced tea in general, you know that those tea jugs that with the spigot, they can be really big and heavy, and especially once they're filled with tea, they're kind of awkward to handle. And I always had issues getting our old one in and out of the refrigerator without dropping it. So the one that we found at IKEA last month was quite a bit smaller. It was flat on top, and it was kind of the perfect size for handling, which I now know is important if you're me and you're going to be making, large quantities of iced tea several times a week. I got that, which has enabled me to make more tea now that it's starting to get unbelievably hot, which is normal for the Mojave. As such, I needed to protect my little teak side table, so I made coasters. They're nothing fancy or anything like that, but I have a lot of spare fabric since I've been doing a lot of sewing projects over the past few years. Mark gifted me one of his extra laptop, what are they called? Pedestal. So that lives on this table now, because what I've come to use this space for, in addition to reading, is listening to YouTube videos. They're Q&As with philosophers, and they're not the sort of thing I can put on in the background. I need to give them undivided attention, and I usually take notes on Post-its. So I needed something to write on. I went ahead and made this lap table, which I haven't really had a proper lap table since I was a student. I took a pillowcase and I shoved this bean pillow thing that Mark had inside of it, and then there's a surface on it. This is just a piece of masonite from the garage, drilled holes along the edge, and then I just whip stitched it onto the pillowcase. And then I knotted the corners of the pillowcase to sort of tighten the whole thing up so that it's nice and snug. And it's quite deep. So when I have this on my lap, it's actually an extra foot of space. And this is kind of about where I want to be writing, should I be, taking notes. So I've got my pedestal, I've got my coaster, tea vat, pedestal, lap desk, the perfect yellow chair on my little rug. And in front of me is my beloved bookshelf that I'm very quickly filling up with lots of good knowledge, thoughts, and ideas from brilliant humans that I'm happy to be more familiar with. This is important. I think that the spaces that we choose to spend time in, we can also choose to make them special, whatever that means. Yeah. I'm curious if you can see the reflection of what I'm looking at in my glasses right now. I'm looking at so until my next video, keep making awesome stuff out there. Enjoy the space that you find yourself in